All right, let's set up a proportion here. We have a dog groomer who's grooming dogs in a certain number of hours. And so the key to these, I think, is to recognize what your values are in the proportion that you're writing. So let me see if I can get my screen to do like I want it to do. I'm going to put the dogs as the top number and the hours as the bottom number. And so it's going to be like dogs over hours. So in this case, I have 6 dogs in 4 hours. That's what we know here. And then it talks about she worked 20 hours this week. So I can know right away where the 20 goes by looking at whether the hours is the top or bottom number. Hours is the bottom number. So that means that 20 goes on the bottom because that's the number of hours, right? And so how many dogs did she groom? Then that's X. And that makes sense too, because dogs is the top number. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out. So it goes on top. Okay. So at this point, you've got the proportion set up. There are a couple of ways to do it. Most of the time you're going to cross multiply. So we'll kind of go with that. Cross multiplying means, multiply the top number times the bottom. So 6 times 20. And then the bottom number times the top. So 4 times X. So 6 times 20. 6 times 2 is 12. And there's a 0 on that equals 4X. Divide both sides by 4. And X equals 30. So she's going to be able to groom 30 dogs in 20 hours. Now, some of you might have been looking at this and going, oh, I knew that already. I figured it out a different way. There are at least 2 more ways that I can think of to do this, but I'm thinking that some of you probably said, oh, well, to go from 4 to 20, you just multiply by 5. And 6 times 5 is 30, which is what we got here, right? So if you recognize, sometimes you can see a connection there. I mean, that's fantastic. Absolutely, that works. Cross multiplying will work every time. If this had been some unusual combination of numbers, something that didn't work in terms of whole numbers, then that might have been a lot harder to see this connection. So yeah, cross multiplying will work every time. I like to give you strategies that will always work. All right, see you next time.